Good week, everybody. Good week. It's finally happening. But we'll get to that after social media. Gabby, hit them.
Absolutely. So you can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at Nick and Co Show. You can follow Nick at Nicker Jones on Twitter. Everything else, the Nicker Jones. BGA13 is on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and G Davies on Twitter and Instagram.
Very nice. All right. Good job. Just so you guys know, I'm watching Gabby and Brooklynn on Zoom. I guess they're watching me on Zoom too. They're drinking. So apologies in advance. There you go. Cheers. Cheers. Okay. Two things we got to get to first before we start talking about stories and fun stuff. Well, this is fun stuff too. We have to mention Blade Shades. Blade Shades is a big supporter of the BLPA. You can find the Beer League Players Association, every social media network, the BLPA. Blade Shades, you can find them at bladeshades.com. They're really rad sunglasses. They have their arms are hockey sticks, and what's better than hockey and being out in the sun? So go check out Blade Shades. They've given us a few to give away, and we're giving away those on our Patreon member appreciation. Basically, we have a lot of shit to give away. To enter to get it, you have to be a supporter of the Beer League Players Association and Nick and Co Show. You can support us on Patreon, patreon.com/Beer League Inc., Beer League INC. I want to run down our supporters just because I don't have a real good way to thank these guys that are supporting us. A lot of these guys are in the tiers where they get cool stuff from the show, like mouth hugs.
Ooh.
But just like they sound, Gabby and Brooklynn use their mouth to make all these people feel warm and fuzzy inside. That's exactly what a mouth hug is. But they've been on quarantine. They're out of practice. So they gotta practice and build up their stamina. So since we can't do the mouth hugs today, I just want to read everyone that has supported us on Patreon. Forgive me if I missed you because some have come in today and I haven't got to them. But here we go. Brian DeGrau, Chris Finelli, Copter, Darren Crozier, Dustin Weber, Eddie Cronin, Greg Lauer, James Heinen, Johnny M, Joshua Hazelrig, Julie Rogers, Kyle Priest, Michelle Craig, Nick Orris, Pat Ballantine, Rich Pintico, AJ Rinberg, Brad Dale, Chris Dunn, Connor Brink, Corey Hartmoyer, Dave Gage, Doug, Jacob Mikesell, John Ward, Joshua Reed, Kyle Marnelli, Pavel Wika, Ryan Lamb, Tom Sokolowski, Brittany Kay, Daniel Langendorfer, Nikki Thompson, Reed Campbell, Richard Riesling, Brian Etcher, Cole Diamond, Gary Munson, Joseph Glasser, Thomas Davis, Walker Ryan. Hold on, now we're going over to the ones I haven't caught yet. Amanda Messiah. Oh, I'm sorry. MASSIH. Sorry, I can't pronounce it. Britt Panda, Billy Bryson, Zach Hughes, Michael Hagan, Gregory Brown, and then our hockey gods. Which one is this? Is it this one? Yes, our hockey gods. You guys can't hear the music, Brooklynn and Gabby, but we are playing our hockey god music. Mr. Naw, Mr. Minch, Mr. Rob Hess. These guys are the epitome of the Beer League Players Association. They're at the top, the people that can rain blessings down upon all you beer leaguers. We really appreciate them and everything they do to make everything that we want to do happen. Thank you guys very much. And everyone else that supports us, you guys are rad. We're going to be doing some cool things. That's one of the big focuses on this episode is one of the cool things we're going to be doing. It's going to be rad. And I appreciate every single one of you guys. I know Brooklynn and Gabby appreciate you guys too.
Yes. Blessed.
Okay. Thoughts and prayers. All right. What do we want to go to first? This goes against every part I've ever been taught about doing a podcast, and it's leaving them wanting more. But the news is so big, I just want to get it out there. Should we give it to them, or should we wait and talk about other things?
Well, I can see you're bursting at the seams.
Bursting. That's the quarantine 15, though.
Oh shoot. How's that dong? Lots of tomatoes.
I haven't got on the tomato kick, but I was on the beef jerky kick. I made my own beef jerky, the BLPA beef jerky, the new brand. But I ate too much, and I've been sick all day. I told you guys, doing the black tar poops, everything. There is a limit to how much beef jerky you can eat. I found out.
I didn't think there was. There is no limit.
I didn't think there was either until I woke up this morning and I had sharp stabbing pains in my gut and, everything else that comes with that.
But it was probably worth it.
Probably worth it. So, Okay, big news first. Big news first.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
As I let off, it's happening. So I got a phone call this week. As you guys know, the COVID-19 situation has put a damper on a lot of the draft experiences and the tournament company events. We've had to postpone Colorado Springs, Oklahoma City, Cincinnati, Milwaukee, probably Salt Lake City. But I get a call, and it's from the rink in Cleveland in our mid-July tournament. And I said, okay, well, when are we going to postpone? He's like, oh, we're not postponing. We're going to be open, and we want you to do your tournament. And I was like, oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. And that's not even the biggest news. Oh. So I started talking to the old ball and chain about kind of what was going on. And, you know, I'm type 1 diabetic. And so I have a little worry about the whole COVID thing and the, you know, all those pre-existing conditions that make it harder for people to survive. And so I thought, well, I'm still young enough. I am worried about it. So what do we do? I mean, obviously traveling a lot, being in airports and hotels and airplanes would kind of increase my exposure. And I thought, well, what if I just get a car and drive all over the place? And, you know, my wife was like, well, that sounds good. That's you're in a car, you know, it's not a lot of space, but you're gonna have to pay for a car and a hotel every night. So you can't avoid the hotels. And so I started talking it over with a bunch of people. And I had this idea a long time ago where I would travel around one summer and I would play hockey in all 50 states and 10 provinces. And I would stop, I would make some cool content, make a little, you know, maybe an episodic show for YouTube or something about all the places I've been. And people kind of laughed it off and said it wasn't possible. And I thought this would be the time to do that.
Wow, I like it.
This would be the time. I have 10 tournaments that we have to do. We have 10 of them.
Okay,
and the problem is, like, I can't, when I leave Canada, when I come back, I have to stay in quarantine for 14 days. And there's a lot of tournaments that are back to back. So how would that work? And I was like, well, I guess I'm just going to go down to states, you know, breathe that fresh freedom air and stay there for 10 tournaments. So 3 months.
Nice.
And so now we've kind of started sourcing out RVs, and I'm basically going to go down July 12th, drive around and not be home till October 17th. And I'm going to try to hit a hockey place, a hockey rink, every place I stop.
Ooh, I like it. Ooh.
So for something like 98 days. So let's just say 100 days, because that's easy math for me. So 100 different places that I could be playing hockey at, in or around. Tons of content. Taking the BLPA show on the road. Literally wrapping this RV in BLPA. Nick, I don't know how having Nick on the RV would look, but I'm down.
No bad angles.
Hey.
So I mean, what do you? I mean, if you were in that situation, would that be something that you would think would be cool, one, to do, and two, like, as someone that plays hockey, would you be like, oh, that's rad, I need to get involved in it?
I think that is awesome. Sign me up.
Right? I think that's a no-brainer. That's awesome. I hate driving personally. The road trip thing is like, but the places you'll go, the things you'll see. I mean,
it's 20,000 clicks, about 12,000 miles in 3 months. That's a lot. That's a lot of driving, especially for like me. I love the ease and the speed of air travel, because I can get there, get up, get in the air, get down, and go about my business. But hey, man, we got podcast. You know, we'll listen to music as loud as I can. You know, my wife doesn't let me listen to loud music anymore because she said we're too old for that. So I can blast it.
So she's not coming with you?
She's not. No, you know, she's kind of worried about the COVID and having the little guy, and then, you know, just that whole situation, him being out and about and having to be like, she thinks it might be better to stay home. That's the part that sucks. Like, I'll be away from my family, but these events are important too, right? These events, like, obviously it's my job, like it's how I earn my living, but it's also like kind of my mission really in life, like to spread the love of the game and sport and all that stuff. And you can't do that as well if you're just sitting in Calgary and not out doing these things, I think.
No, I
totally agree. Yeah.
So basically it's like July 17th, we're in Cleveland, and then Colorado Springs and Boston, Oklahoma City, Denver, Nashville, Cincinnati, Austin. We're working on rescheduling Salt Lake City. So lots of cool places, lots of back and forth. Like it goes Cleveland, then all the way back to Colorado, then all the way back to Boston, then all the way back to Oklahoma City. So lots of travel, lots of cool places to stop in between. And I mean, this RV that we have is rad. We've already named it. It's the DEX Express, because draft experience is the DEX. And so DEX Express, just coming to a city near you. Come and play hockey with me. Or even if we're not playing hockey, like let's sit out under this awning in some lawn chairs and drink a beer in the evening.
Well,
tell stories.
We'll be there.
I didn't even need to get to beer for you, huh?
No, I can envision it. It's just right there.
So, like, Brooklyn, I know you travel a lot. I mean, have you ever taken a trip like this? Like, if you have, like, what's anything that could be helpful in my journey, in my quest? This is actually a quest. This is a hockey quest.
Hockey quest. So I haven't done anything to any like that scale. I've done like a couple of hour road trips, just seeing the sights. There was one when I was living in Australia. There we were going to check out some waterfalls and just driving along the road, and all we see is this massive platypus head. You know what a platypus is, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. I know what a platypus is.
And it was actually like, I think a year ago to the date, or 3 years ago to the date, sorry. But there was this platypus reserve. And so we were like, you know what?
Are platypuses endangered?
I don't think so. I just think they're kind of hard to spot because they're little aquatic things. Did you know that the males can actually kill you? That's a different story.
I did not know that.
That's
good
what we
to
found
know.
out. But yeah, we just slammed on the brakes, did a little reverse on the highway, pulled in, and just got to learn about some platypuses and see them in the wild.
So a learning experience. So in addition to sports and promoting the great sport of hockey and other hockey or other sporting things, this could be a learning experience.
I think you could definitely get some good learning content. You might see maybe the world's largest, like I went on a road trip to see the world's largest cock. And I have a picture in front of that. So you never know what you'll find.
How big is the world's largest cock?
It's the biggest I've ever seen. I have a photo in front of it, actually. I can share with everyone, but it was not small. It was very large.
Was it scary? Was it a scary cock?
It was like, I knew it was going to be big, so it didn't surprise me. It wasn't like a surprise. So I was prepared, but it was not small.
It was not small. I mean, when I'm picturing like large cocks, I'm not thinking like cute. I'm thinking big, hairy, scary cocks. And so
it wasn't really hairy because it was like out of cement. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, yeah. I would say in Oklahoma we say cement.
Oh, cement.
Cement. Yeah. So that is a huge cock. Holy moly, that's a big cock.
Do you see? What? I'll zoom into me. Can you see where I am?
Yeah. I can see you.
And I'm not petite.
Yeah, no, you're pretty big too, and you're leaning right against that cock.
Yeah.
What color is that cock?
It's dark.
Oh, it's. There's just glare, so I couldn't tell what color the cock was. So I was just curious.
Yeah, I think I might have put some exposure on it just to like really
deepen the darkness. Okay.
You really wanted to see the detail, but yeah. Anyways, you never know what big thing you'll find on the road.
Yeah, I mean, where was that big cock at?
That was in Dalat in Vietnam.
Oh, so I'd have to go to see. That's weird that I would have to go all the way to Vietnam to see the biggest cock in the world.
Not where you would think.
You wouldn't think it was
that.
there.
No.
I mean, it goes against everything I've ever heard about that stuff, right? But you know what? Mythbusters.
There you go.
So
biggest cock.
Yeah. What about you, Gabby? Any travel? Like, do you have any road trip story? You seem to always have the good story, the crazy story. You're kind of the crazy out of these two. You're a little crazier. I saw Brooklyn's TikTok story of you, the roommate that she thought she was getting versus the roommate that she actually got. And Gabby goes hard, from what I understand.
Behind closed doors. I have no good road trip stories, but I hate road trips. And the only one I've done was across country. And at the time, planking was a thing. Does anyone remember planking?
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Should we start something like planking for the DEX tour? The DEX
Probably
Express?
should.
But not planking, but something else.
something else, because planking was dumb. Like I said, I was younger. We went Alberta to Ontario, and the only pictures I have, I am face down on something across the country.
Just planking. You planked your way across Canada.
I did. It's so embarrassing.
Can we have some of those pictures to? I mean,
Maybe.
just so we can get people like we want to do our thing, our version of planking.
Make something new.
Yeah, plank. We'll do. It'll be this across North America, and I will do it everywhere I stop.
Perfect.
But it won't be planking.
It won't be planking.
No.
It has to be something sports related.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's Kobeing.
Yeah.
That's too soon. Too soon. Too soon. I don't know. I'll have to think about that. You put me on the spot. I'll have to think about it. But there has to be something funny we could do everywhere, right?
We'll share planking pictures and big cock.
Drop the gloves. Do a video of you just dropping the gloves in front of
anything. Here I am at this rest area bathroom. I'm dropping the gloves with it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, cool. I mean, that works, right? Or punching it. I mean,
Celly? Yeah. 6 celly?
Oh, I could do the celly. Did you hear about the best celly ever that I did?
No.
Yes.
You've heard about this? So we were playing a tournament in where was that place? Atlantic City. We were playing in Atlantic City, and I went to go get lunch. And when I came back, I had bought 2 burgers, and when I came back, I ate one, and then I put the other one in my pocket of my hockey pants because the shells that we had pockets in them, right? And I forgot about it as I was going about my day, and we're getting ready for the next game, and I go, holy shit, there's a cheeseburger in my pocket here. And we're in the locker room, and I'm like, if I score a goal, I'm going to pull this cheeseburger out, and I'm going to eat it. I didn't score a goal that game. I got really hungry, so I just ate the cheeseburger. Okay? And so before the next game, as we're going on the ice, one of the guys on my team says, hey, that sounds hilarious. I know you didn't score. I went to McDonald's. I bought you another cheeseburger because I want to see it. And it happened.
Nice.
It's on the internet. Things don't die on the internet. But I scored a goal, really hard, really mucky, grindy, dirty goal. Just got a feed from the corner. I made a shot, a rebound off the goalie, and I fought my way through a guy and finished the rebound, and pulled out this burger and took a couple bites. Offered it to the goalie.
Oh, that's nice.
Goalie said no because he's a piece of shit. And no offense, I really like that goalie, but he didn't take my burger, which is bullshit because that's being friendly. It's being respectful. I just scored on you. I ate this burger, but it's okay. We're friends. You can have a bite. And he said no, and that pissed me off.
Before COVID, though.
It was before. It was 2 years before COVID, for sure. And so that's the best celly ever. No one will ever top that. I don't care what anyone says. So maybe I just eat a burger at every place I go.
There you go.
It's like, oh, here I am.
I thought it was a different story. I thought it was where you kissed the guy in the penalty box.
No,
blew a kiss, not kissed him.
Blew a guy? Did I hear blow a guy?
Yeah, I scored and blew a guy, and I got a misconduct for that. Obviously, I don't know.
The cheeseburger was cooler.
But the cheeseburger was way better, and I didn't blow a guy. I did blow a kiss to a guy that tried to fight me, that led to the power play, that led to the go-ahead goal. But then I blew the kiss to him, got a misconduct myself, and they tied up the game and eventually beat us. So, yeah. Oh, I'm super stoked about this traveling around. Like I just can't wait to meet a bunch of people, and making like a bunch of hockey content is something I want to do anyway. And it's really hard when you're not doing hockey. Mm-hmm. It's really hard to make hockey content without hockey. Although I did line up an interview for next week.
Ooh.
Yeah. Rolly the goalie.
Rolly the goalie.
I found him. It's the guy that started the goalies play for free idea. And now it's grown into this huge debate. And so I said, I'm going to find the guy that first did the goalies play for free and find out what's going on. So I'm going to interview him next week, and I'm going to play the interview. It's going to be great. I'm going to get to the bottom of it. Do you think goalies should play for free, Brooklyn? You come from a goalie family.
Well, just because I come from a goalie family, I would have to agree with him.
Okay. Hey, everyone has their own opinion, even if it's wrong.
Well, I don't want to have pucks flying at my face.
Well,
they're already a little odd. So,
but they don't play. They don't play goalie anymore.
It's true. But like, I sympathize with goalies because obviously something's not 100% there. So I feel like they need a break.
That's true. What do you ranch or blue cheese on your chicken wings?
Neither.
Neither. Oh, you just like the regular old flavored.
Like it raw. Yeah.
You like it raw. You're raw dog. Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay.
No, I
No.
just like the sauce. All natural.
Okay.
Like
Cool.
saucy.
She likes it. She likes it raw and saucy. That's what she likes. All right. So, so anyway, so I'm stoked about going on this trip. I can't wait. I hope a bunch of people that are listening come out. As a matter of fact, apparently us taking breaks is not something people want anymore, because last night I'm playing Warzone. We do stream video games over at BLPA Game Time on Facebook. And someone said, I think it was Michael Coughlin, said, less video games, more Nick and Co. So, all right, Michael, we heard you. We're coming back. It's very hard to record during quarantine because everyone's schedule is different. You know, Gabby's out running the streets, you know?
Can you clarify? That sounds really bad. I'm not on the streets.
No, I said running the streets.
Okay.
Kind of the streets.
Run,
Pound the pavement.
pounding the pavement, just making that money. That's what she's doing.
Making it rain. She supports me. She's my sugar mama.
Yeah, she's an essential employee. We've talked about it. She does things. We need her.
Yeah.
We need her.
Yeah.
So, okay. What else is happening in this great wide world of stuff? Did you guys see the guy that threw a perfect game 10 years ago but got screwed over by a ref?
I did not see it live.
Wasn't
Heard
there?
about it. Heard whispers.
I did watch this game a long time ago, and everyone knew that it was bad. But his name is Armando Galarraga, and he threw a perfect game in theory. He was pitching for the Tigers. In the 9th inning, there was a play where he beat a guy to first base to get the guy out, but the umpire called him safe, thus essentially ending the perfect game. Fast forward a little bit of time, the umpire admitted it was a bad call. Big respect to the umpire. And here's the deal. The guy, he retired 26 straight batters. So this was the last out of the game. That's where he got hosed on. And so, like, obviously the umpire says that, hey, it was a blown call, and now he's coming back on the 10th year anniversary and saying he wants the Major League Baseball to give him the perfect game because it was perfect. Why not? Why wait for so long? He doesn't want to, his quote was, "I don't want to die," and then they'll be like, you know what? He threw a perfect game. He wants that smoke right now. And so my question to you, and also Jim Joyce was the umpire, and he said the biggest call of my career, and I kicked the shit out of it. So he's upset that he made the wrong call. But what do you think? Should Major League Baseball go back and award this guy a perfect game?
Initially, I said yes. I agreed and said, heck yeah, give him a perfect game. Like, that doesn't come to anybody. But then you had a good point earlier of now how many other people do they have to reward? Bad calls happen all the time.
I mean, I think that's part of the game. That's part of the human error. And I understand this is way bigger of a stage, way bigger of a call. I mean, look at the Flames in 2004. That puck was in, but
gonna bring that up.
the umpire run, or the referee runned it. And so, like, if you're going to go back and start changing things, it's almost impossible, right? Because then you're going to have people go back and say, oh, well, look, this guy was actually out. How does that change the outcome and the history of the games themselves, right? I mean, it's just impossible. And I think we've always had this argument in my league about GoPros and wearing GoPros, and how a lot of people say, like, as a guy that used to work for a league, we said, hey, we don't want them because, you know, people are going to be sending in footage all the time about getting calls reversed. And obviously you can't do that in beer league because it just doesn't happen, right? And if you did, you would just be inundated with that stuff. So I think if they say, okay, yeah, we're going to give this guy a perfect game, I think it would cause a lot of people to go up in an uproar and maybe go back and say, oh, well, remember this, we should change this too.
Agreed.
But
I think it was good bringing in like live feed stuff, so at least now things are changed.
Yeah, but what I can't stand about live feed, like, there's live feed stuff that they still get wrong. So why do it if you're still going to get stuff wrong? And, like, especially in hockey, like, the one thing that I can't stand in hockey is these offside challenges where it's just like a little bit of a hair, and they're like, oh yeah, that was wrong. We got to get it back. I understand wanting to get it right, but it's like if it's so close that the referee, obviously can't get it, that sometimes there is human error in the game. It's the same with the athletes. Like the reason one team scores a goal over another team is because there was a human error involved somewhere, right? I mean, maybe the goalie had a wrong read. Maybe they were misplaying a man, or maybe the outfielder misplayed a fly ball. Like a human error is what makes the difference between wins and losses in all sports, I think. But then the hard part is how would I feel? How would you feel if you threw the perfect game? You knew you threw the perfect game, but they wouldn't give it to you. Like you obviously your kind of psyche and your reasoning would be different, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that one's tough because it's like the last call of the game, like you said.
For sure.
Perfect game or not perfect game. It was not the ball was in or out. It's a life-changing decision.
We've all been referees here, and I'm sure we've all made bad calls, right?
A lot of bad calls.
Oh, referee!
And I hate reffing. No one likes reffing.
Referee Nick never made a bad call. They were always 100% correct.
Yeah.
You believe it's true. It's true.
But I don't believe. I can't think of very many bad. Like I remember times where maybe my fuse was too short, and I kicked people out of the stands for just giving it to me. But in fairness, I did tell him to stop. I'm like, hey, listen, guy, like, come on, this is like 8-year-old girls, machine pitch. Like, come on, what's the big deal here? Like, but probably the most controversial call that I've ever had to make in my umpire career was one of these girls softball game when I was a younger, much more spry young man, where I could umpire a complete day tournaments. I could do all of them in a row. And I remember we played in this one tournament. It was out in my parents, where my parents live in Blanchard, Oklahoma, and it was a girls softball. And first one, I remember this one team, I can't remember, they came from Dibble, Oklahoma. I think it was Dibble. I don't know. It was from somewhere. The Dibble team is the what my actual story is about. But I remember this one team from another place. Like they just kicked the shit out of everyone, like literally just pounding the ball, never giving up. And you start feeling bad for like these 8-year-old girls that are getting their the shit kicked out of them. And so like I go up to the third base coach, and he's wearing his big Oakley shades, tall guy, imposing, 6'4", 6'5", big guy. And I say, hey bud, now why don't you take the foot off the gas pedal? I mean, obviously everyone likes to win. You guys got it, right? I mean, you're up by 27 runs or something like that. This guy literally, he pulls down his shades and he goes, hey, Nick, is that what we were taught when we were growing up? And this guy played baseball with me growing up. I didn't even recognize him. And I said, I guess you're correct. Carry on. And just walked away. Like, what are you going to do? But in that same tournament, it came down to the last game of the season. It was Blanchard, the home team Blanchard team was in the championship. And then there was the team from up the road, like their crosstown rivals. The Dibble, I think they were the Bulldogs maybe, but Dibble was undefeated. And this was the last tournament of the year. And it was a tightly contested game. And in the bottom of the fifth inning, because they only went 5 innings, they were young, there was a girl on second base for the Blanchard team. The game was tied. There was 2 outs. The girl hit the ball to the outfield, and this runner is coming around second base. She comes, slide, play at the plate. It's bang, bang. I call it safe. So Dibble loses their first game ever. Blanchard wins. Everyone's going crazy. I just walk off the field, right? But here's where the controversy lies in. The runner that I called safe was my cousin.
Juicy.
Yeah, and so like I look back, I think it was the right call. I mean, I didn't realize it was my cousin at first, right? Like whenever I made the call, but when I'm running out and I turned around and looked, she was the one getting up and they were cheering. I was like, oh shit! But it was bang bang, and I always thought like did I like subconsciously blow that call because I subconsciously knew it was my cousin? I mean, but it was so bang bang, and but that's one call that I still think about, and it's been like 7 years in the grand scheme of things. Like 7, 8, 9-year-old girls softball is not, I mean, it's not the end of the world, but I still think about that and think, holy shit, did I make the wrong call or was I right? So you guys have any stories about bad calls you've made?
Nothing to that extent. The only thing I could think of is I was repping grade 9 volleyball. I think one team was winning so it goes up to 25. One team had 23, and I think the other team had 1. And I just got nervous, and I just didn't know what to do with my hands. And volleyball reffing is all about hand motions.
Okay.
And I just
Can you say I
didn't
don't
know
know
what to do with my arms.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
I just didn't know what to do with my hands. And luckily there was a 16-year-old down reffing, and she told me exactly what to do. So
Oh, nice.
So I haven't really had anything too intense because I don't put myself in those situations because I don't trust myself. So I'm easily persuaded I would be a really bad ref. So that's about the extent of it.
Man, it's crazy because you don't think, like, as a hockey player, I don't think, well, I didn't until now. I don't think about my reffing experience when I'm dealing with officials on the ice and knowing what it takes to kind of put yourself out there, knowing that everyone's going to be, someone's going to be unhappy with you multiple times during this game, right? So, Gabs, any ref conspiracies you have?
Oh, I mean, I'm sure there's tons of bad calls that I've made, but like I said earlier, I hate reffing. I don't think, like, it takes a certain kind of person to ref, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
And when I played sports, volleyball, baseball, whatever, I yelled at the ref all the time. I was
Me
that
too.
person. I was the captain, just up their ass. That's the wrong call. I was that person they didn't like. So when it came to me reffing, I kind of, realized how much of an asshole I was. But I've made a few bad calls. I think the infield fly that wasn't an infield fly, that was messy. And I think a provincial banner was at stake, and I may have made the wrong call.
Nice.
But,
well, that's like Chipper Jones's last year before he retired. They were in the playoffs, and there was something like that where it probably should have been an infield fly because it was a couple steps off the grass, but they didn't call it. The ball dry. Like, there's those things happen even in the pro level, right? I mean, that's what you have to think is, like, me. Like, I'm not a professional official. I'm just this goober that thinks he has the right to make calls, and I don't officiate much anymore. I probably would if I had the chance, but not hockey, just because I don't think I skate well enough. But yeah, it's tough. Any bad calls made against you guys that you can think, like, that motherfucker? Yeah, now we got stories.
How many times I was stole home and I was so safe that they were blind to call me out? Yeah, that was a few times. But
have you ever had someone swing the bat when you were stealing home?
No.
Like, I saw a video just the other day where a kid, I mean, he missed him, but it's like one of those things where it's scary. Like, it's scary when you see this guy running and the kid takes a hack and you're like, holy shit. Brooklynn?
No, when I was coaching, I never, like, when I was playing, I would never yell at refs. I was just like, you know what happens. I was pretty chill, but when I was coaching, that's the first time I've lost it. I just yelled at this kid. And I noticed, like, he had a lanyard of one of the colleges that when I played college, he played at. And that was a very, so I recognized the college, and I felt really bad after because I just laid into him. And it was like 14-year-old volleyball, and I'm just screaming at this ref. And I was like, but hey, I got it. And I had to apologize at the end because I was just mortified. I was like, oh, sorry. But she touched it. And the girl was like, yeah, I touched it. And he's like, nope, no touch. And I was like,
she admitted.
She just said she touched it, bud.
And yeah, I had to apologize. But that's the only time I've ever got heated about a bad call. Usually I'm pretty chill. But when it comes to 14-year-old volleyball,
she's in. She's dialed in.
You know, it's so weird because, like, I'm a competitive guy by nature, and I want to win. And the hard part for me with hockey is not being a difference maker like Michael Jordan in this new documentary. Like, I don't have the skill to be that. Like, in baseball, like, I wanted to be the guy that at bat in the late innings, or I wanted the ball hit to me because I could do stuff with it, right? Football the same way, but hockey, I don't have that. So it's hard for me to like there's that will that want to win and to go yell at the officials and give them the what for, or get in their chili, as you would say. But then sometimes you can't. Sometimes you got, like, there's time. If people want to hear this story, I'll tell it again, but I've told it before. But where I chased a ref off the ice because he called me a motherfucker. And I basically told him, you can't do that, blah, 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 blah. And he said, you're out of here. And I said, if I'm going you're going too. And he's like, let's go call the tournament director. Well, I was the tournament director, right? So, so that was a funny story. But the bad call that I remember in hockey that just blew my mind is I remember we got to the rink one day for just a regular beer league game in the summer, so low key. But as we're walking into the rink, the rink attendant said, "Hey Nick, you're gonna like these new nets we put out for you." And I was like, "Okay, cool." So we went out for warm-ups, and turned out they strung these nets so tight that if you shot a puck in, it would trampoline back out all the way past center ice, right? And so we get to the game, and like before the game, like I'm talking to the refs, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, "Hey, you got to watch like this net down here, like you barely put it in and it trampolines out." And I even showed him, like I just saucered a puck in with my hand and it fucking bounced right out. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'll watch it." Well, lo and fucking behold, first fucking period, here I come, and I get every piece of this puck, which rarely happens. Like, it's a piss rocket. Like, I thought I was putting it through the back wall. That's how much I got. It hits, it fucking ricochets all the way fucking out the other side. All of us players stop. We skate back. My teammates, give me the old butt taps. Great shot. You finally fucking put one in the net, fucker, that kind of stuff. And we go back to center ice, and the ref's like, "What's going on? The game's still on." And we're like, "What?" And he's like, "That didn't go in." And I'm like, "Motherfucker." And look, everyone thought it went in. And he's like, no goal. But I guess we'll drop the puck in the offense. I'm like, what the fuck? And so, I mean, for me, like, I don't score a ton of goals as is. And when you get a pretty one, like I'm talking like down on one knee, one timer, just every bit of it. Just when you let go of it, you're like, holy fuck, that's going to do some damage. I hope no one's in the way. That goalie, get out of the way, goalie. And he did. But that's the one time, the bad time. And like, I get it. Like, it happened so fast. I mean, I got every bit of it. I was probably 100 miles an hour. So the ref couldn't see it.
Whoa.
79 miles an hour, right in the back of the net, and bounced all the way back. And so, but that's the one time I kind of got in the ref's chili. Last time I remember getting in the ref's chili outside of that kicking the ref out after he kicked me out. But other than that, I mean, we talked about the Jordan thing, the Last Dance. Have you guys checked it out?
I've watched 2 episodes and I learned so much. I had no idea half of that, and even 2 episodes.
Michael
Didn't know
Jordan's
he played balls.
I had no idea he played baseball.
Oh yeah, he took a little break off, and Michael Jordan's a bad motherfucker.
He is.
I wasn't a basketball guy per se, but my dad loved basketball, and so that was in the middle of me growing up in high school. So my dad would watch all the games, so I got to watch them. So it was cool reliving that, and thinking back of me and my dad watching, and I wasn't even like Michael Jordan. Yeah, he's the greatest player the game's ever seen, but I wasn't even a huge MJ fan. I mean, it's kind of like, oh, everyone worships this guy; he's the best. I was a Rodman fan. I love Dennis Rodman. I'm a little bit different. He was way different, and the shit he did. Like I remember. We had this little basketball group after school. After all of our sports were done and we were in the off season, we'd meet at the park, Siler Park, and we'd run 5-on-5s. People would show up. You got next. I mean, it was some big stuff. But you had to wear a basketball jersey. Didn't have a basketball jersey, you couldn't play.
Okay.
And I was Dennis Rodman. I even thought about dyeing my hair, but my mom wouldn't let me. But I mean, I loved Rodman. That guy was, and he also played college basketball in Oklahoma, so that kind of probably led into it. But that's if you haven't seen it, I know if you're a sports fan, you probably have seen it. But just that guy, like everyone is saying, oh, MJ's an asshole, and I don't think he was an asshole. I think he just had a will to win, and that was above everything. It was win or nothing, win or fuck you. And that
exactly. Even he's a nice guy. After he punched that guy in the face, he apologized. So there.
Yeah,
good.
exactly. I mean, I wish I had the ability to be a game breaker. I mean, because it would just be to have that much power to say, all right, I can control this game. And like they even said in the thing, like MJ would make shit up to get himself worked up. Like that one thing where he said that this team beat him and he was walking by and the guy said, "Oh, good game, Mike," and it was disrespectful. And so MJ used that for like the next 2 games. And finally they asked him, "Hey, did that happen?" He's like, I don't know if it happened or not. So he would literally invent stuff in his head to get himself worked up. And that's crazy. And then to go out and just dominate people like that is incredible. But I guess if I could do that, I'd be making millions of dollars, eh?
Yeah. I saw a meme that said something like, if he just went to therapy, he wouldn't be half as good as he was.
Hey, it's true. It's true.
True. I learned a lot in those 2.
So anything else we need to touch on?
You know, we went over that exciting news, and I don't know if there's anything really on our end. You know, we're just
Well, hey,
living life.
what's happening in y'all's life? I know you guys, you know, Brooklyn, you're quarantined in Lethbridge, you know, what, a few hours away from Calgary, and now you're back in Calgary. You know, how's life here? You're living with Gabby, just drinking red wine on a Tuesday night?
Well, we went to the liquor store the other day, and we got a buy in bulk discount. So that's how quarantine's going for us.
What's outside of wine? Like, what are you guys drinking?
I'm really a big fan of the Pink Whitney. I like that with some water and ice. It hits differently.
It's different, but let's not be sheep. We're making our own drink.
Nope, that's true. What is yours?
Purple Nicky's.
Purple Nicky's.
Yeah,
I've never had it, so I can't compare.
Okay, so you go get the cheapest vodka you can find.
We've got some in the.
Okay,
yeah,
and then
I got it.
Yeah.
Then you get Purple Pedialyte. You mix it together. That way you can stay drunk and hydrated at hockey events. The Purple Nicky.
I'm gonna make a drink.
I am impressed.
And we all
taste
no, it tastes pretty good. We did them in Boston. Like, they're not bad. Yeah, it doesn't matter what it tastes. We also had the Poop Shooter. Poop Shooter's a good one. It's let's see, what is it? It's clear rum, and it's not Kahlua. What's the other drink that's like Kahlua?
Bailey's.
Bailey. Okay, it's Kahlua. Nope, it's Bailey's. No, it's Bailey's and clear rum.
Bailey's and clear rum. Okay.
Or Kahlua. It looks like poop, and we call it the Poop Shooter. It's the official drink of the Nick and Co show, and those actually are delicious. Like, the name sounds disgusting, and that might turn you off, unless you're into poop, Gabby. I don't know. You've been shit on before.
Don't bring it up. Don't bring it up.
And so
I was getting paid, so it makes it all better.
Oh yeah, well, if you're
I'm thinking of a different time.
Yeah, listen. Hey, if you're getting paid to get shit on, like, there's no shame.
You can't complain.
No,
usually people pay to get shit on.
You could probably make way more money elsewhere.
Yeah.
We
played some beer darts.
How does that work?
You've never played beer darts?
No. School me on beer darts.
Okay, so you get a couple friends, and you guys all sit in a circle, and you need cans.
Okay.
And darts.
Okay.
You've actually never played.
I've never played this game.
Oh my gosh, my mind is blown. Okay, so everybody has cans, and you shake them up and you put them beside you. So the point of the game is to take a dart, throw it at your opponent, and crack their can. They get a hole in their can, opens, you got to shotgun it, throw it in the middle, put another can down.
Oh, this sounds like a DEX Express game.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can
Under
play it on the road.
This is wow. Okay, I like this game.
You've never played it before.
Are you
Have you seen this game? It's not a drinking game, but we could make it into a drinking game, where you have like a group of friends and you're in a circle and you have a bottle and you spin it, and whoever it lands on gets to get. Well, these guys were using a tee and a ball and a bat. And then the other people run, and you try to hit the people that are running. That seems like the perfect game with hockey.
That's amazing.
I could see it.
I mean, it's really gonna hurt when I lay into one and get one and right square in the back on
into
someone.
your butthole.
Yeah.
Can you imagine having to go to the ER because you just got a puck shut up your bung?
You know, I feel like Gabby's probably seen a lot worse.
Imagine seams on your asshole though, just like in there. Oof.
Well, I think, like, I can remember, like, I don't wear shoulder pads in hockey. And
tough guy.
No, it's just because it's too hot. But I can remember getting like a slap shot and having the on the side of the puck where they have those letters indented, they would be indented onto like my chest. But then I always got pissed off because I don't bruise. I would just have the little red mark, but it would never like bruise. And I wanted like this whole.
Yeah.
I wanted this whole like chest piece. I wanted a chest piece bruise where I could just take it off and be like, I could be like, look, I'm a tough guy.
Yeah.
It just gets too hot in shoulder pads. I try to stay away from the puck anyway, so it doesn't.
That's fair.
You know? Any other drinking shenanigans you guys? I mean, I saw a lot of photos come through.
That was actually from that. One of us, I'm not naming names, just had a really, really good time.
Does their name rhyme with Rabby?
You know,
bingo.
Hey, we're still waiting on our OnlyFans photos and our TikToks. I mean, people like, hey, when are Brooklyn and Gabby making TikToks? I'm like, well, I don't know. Yeah, maybe you could tweet them and ask them.
Yeah,
tomorrow. I mean, it might be. Well, I was not coherent when we were.
Even those are the better ones. there's something else you guys have been messaging me about. I mean, we're 45 minutes. We got 15 minutes to kill here about your favorite podcast. Just
my mind is blown. I am just so emotionally invested in this.
well, tell the people about it, because I don't know all the ins and outs, because that's one podcast that I didn't really listen to as much, because I mean, there's only so much I could take about hooking up with athlete dudes that weren't named Nick. You know?
Yeah, so Call Her Daddy is just, I loved it every week. Every Wednesday, avid listener, Daddy Gang. I was in it.
You're in the daddy gang.
I almost bought a hoodie, but it was in US, so I was like,
yeah.
You know, conversion
So
rate.
I don't understand. All I know, like the ins and outs, is that they wanted to redo their contract. Barstool was offering like $500,000 a piece, and they wanted more.
Yep, they wanted more. One of them wanted to go somewhere else, and the other one went behind and was like, you know, that's a really good deal. I want it, but I want 75-25. And then the other one is now wanting to go back, and she's like, no, I don't want 50-50 anymore. I want 75%, and I'll employ you. So it's quite juicy, and all of the president for
Dave Portnoy.
Barstool, all of his videos are hilarious, and I'm just living.
He's a funny guy for sure. Like, he just doesn't give two fucks. Like, he had a sex tape of himself out just a couple months ago, and he's just like, well, yeah, that was me. I'm single guy in my 40s. I'm fucking.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So maybe you guys, if there's no more Call Her Daddy, maybe you guys are step up.
Yeah. My audition tape I'm sending in. We can be the new.
Can we play it?
It's not created yet, but when it is, I will. Yeah, for sure.
Let's talk about it now. Like give us like a little clip of what your audition to be on Call Her Daddy would be. You and what's one of your favorite topics on Call Her Daddy?
The sex insight is really great. They enlighten the public.
I just enjoy the ways that they help you be crazy, but be okay with it.
Okay. Well, okay. Say we had some beer league chicks listening to the show, and they're hockey players, and they're kind of introverts. They're a little unsure around the opposite sex. What would you do? Like, how would you tell them to come out of their shell?
Fireball. Personal, but
took it out of my way. Yeah, took it right out.
Well, I mean, that doesn't make for a good podcast just to say drink more Fireball.
No, you're right. So maybe I'm just not cut out for it then.
Well, I mean, I don't know if those girls just come up with that shit off the top of their head. Unless I know, hey, Brooklyn's parents are listening, so we got to be, Bob. Hey, how about this? Hey, Bob and Sue, turn off the podcast right now. Okay, now what would you say to them?
All right. Well, everyone, how long do I got?
Well, Gabby, you got parents listening?
Probably.
All right.
I'm keeping it PG.
When the DEX Express is on the road, and you guys partake, then we'll get the juicy deets, because it doesn't count when you're drunk.
That's part of it.
It doesn't count when you're drunk. That's the new rule of the Nick and Co show of the draft experience of Beer League Players Association. It doesn't count when you're drunk.
Put that on a t-shirt. I will buy it. On a cropped hoodie.
Okay, cropped hoodie. Got it.
Doesn't count when you're drunk.
Doesn't count. Got it. All right. Anything else before we get out of here this week?
No. I'm excited to make the fans happy for keeping this going.
Oh, yeah. Make it. Hey, Gabby just wants to make you guys feel good.
She is going to be
are getting warmed up here.
Oh, yeah. So anything you guys want, she's on board. She's back full time. 2 in a row. That's a record for Gabby.
Yeah. Oh, we have can we ask like the fans?
Yeah, ask.
So we're getting matching tattoos.
Oh, yes.
Dongs.
Dongs?
You were going to ask what tattoos to get? Matching dongs.
Yeah.
The biggest cock in the world. To scale.
Yeah.
So rooster. Just get a little roosters on your wrist there.
Oh, it's a rooster? Oh.
Well, cock. Get a cock.
That would have been so awkward if people thought it was.
Whatever. Rooster, get a cock. Get cocks on your wrist, and then you guys can like, that can be your handshake. You can do like cock gals, and then like clap your wrist together, or
Tasteful.
Tasteful.
Cock sis, sister cocks, or whatever, you know. Just
Step.
Step.
did we just become step cocks? And then we'll have this whole chain of people getting cocks on their wrist, and we will have done our job. We'll have connected the world.
Yeah.
Cock connecting the world right here on Nick and Co Show.
You love to see it.
We don't even have to ask the fans. We know our answer.
Yeah.
But
you're gonna ask what we get, but hey.
okay, okay. Other than cocks, what kind of matching tattoos should Brooklyn and Gabby get?
Yeah,
and it's probably gonna be on her ass cheeks.
Can we show people that? Like
we have a better idea, like a camel on a toe. Not gonna do it, but
hilarious,
nuts. Tasteful.
But
we're thinking of getting just nuts.
If we ask people about tattoos, we also have to let them see it. So if you're okay with them seeing your butt cheeks, which it's just skin, like it's just a butt cheek, right? So we won't show face. No one will know. It'll just be one big butt cheek.
It's not very big.
Yeah.
Pardon me?
All right, what a way to end it. We'll see you guys next week. Send in your what you think matching tattoos Brooklyn and Gabby should get and where they should get them. Right now, we've got wrist cocks and we got knucks on their butts. So, all right.
All right.
See you guys later. Follow us, all the social media channels. We love you guys. See ya.